Right.
Okay. Well,
Welcome back to the Talking to Talk podcast. We will have our introduction this time for once. I'm one of your hosts, Aisha.
I'm one of your hosts, Kelsey.
And I'm the final host, Matthew. This is weird being on this side.
I like it.
I'm talking about my side, but okay.
Well, I like it.
Yeah, it's just a different view.
Anyways. If every time you walked in a room, what song would play?
Oof.
Like your theme song. Not walk into a room. Every time you exit, what's your exit song? Every time you leave this room, this is
the RuPaul's Drag Race one.
Which one?
The one where they're eliminated.
Why am I pulling a blank?
Girl.
The
No, because that's the lip sync one. The.
Oh, okay. So
I'm talking about the How does it go? It's just a lot of like sound effects. Hold on. That would be mine, honestly. That's the ultimate one to me.
Really? Like you
Yeah.
wouldn't choose anything else?
I don't know.
Nothing with words in it?
Maybe like Get Out by JoJo.
The first song that popped into my head was that Crazy by Doechii. When it goes, and then, I don't know, there's like a bunch of like beat drops and things, and like, I don't know. She's a little nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
That one.
I'll have to think about that one. Cause exit, like,
Have you guys seen those TikToks where it's like the group of friends and they're like,
Oh, before they
it's like,
leave.
see you later, girl, and then
Yeah.
it's like a different song every
Yeah.
time they leave?
Yes.
I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what would the song, like...
do you already have one?
No, honestly, I didn't really think about
I'm
it.
thinking like
I just
things
saw
like
that and I
Summer
was like-
Renaissance, like the last song off of the tour. To me, that symbolizes like very like bye-bye.
Exit. Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
It was a hard one. Well, on the topic of music and songs, do you guys have any songs that we've been bopping to other than Cowboy Carter?
So the song that I have, that I'm like, bopping to, that I just added that isn't Beyonce. I listened to Tyla's album.
I haven't yet. I need to.
I haven't listened
Good.
to it. Is
It's
it?
good. She has a song with Gunna and Skilly Bang.
Ooh.
I saw that.
That one's bussin'.
Yeah,
Art is good as well. And then also that Doechii and JT song.
Yeah.
Oh, and Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla dropped a song, which is coming for the summer.
I don't know.
Not feeling it?
No.
I feel like it's a grower.
It felt very flat to me. Like no.
I think Glorilla's part was a little like, and then when Megan came out, I was like,
Yeah. There's my girl.
like she knows how to like morph on a beat, whereas Glorilla still needs to figure that out a little bit. But yeah, those are the songs that I've been like bopping
Nah,
to.
but Alter Ego.
Yeah,
That whole
Azalea
fuck
Banks is
fuck
so.
that whole to the condom slit.
yeah, we listened to that on the car right here.
Love that one.
Other than Beyonce, the Sad Boy song,
Yeah,
that's been on repeat for me every day. Usually when I go to work in the morning, because I'd be going to work for 6 a.m., so it's early.
Girl.
I usually listen to my little podcast, but I've been bumping that
yeah.
on the way to work.
Real Toronto.
Good song. What is it called again?
But no, Potential's the other one. Slide.
Slide by Sad Boy. That's been my song.
Potential's really good.
Yeah, you
I
played
like
that
that
one.
one.
That one was really good too.
We're shadow banned on TikTok right now, if y'all didn't know. So if you're seeing this, please go to our TikTok and manually select our videos and watch them, because they will probably not show up on your For You page, because TikTok did not like the clip of me talking about younger people. I'm not going to say the CHILDREN word, because apparently that's a trigger word for TikTok. Anyways.
Yeah, when you're talking about frolicking around and beating children, not even
No,
running over
but
children
yeah.
down here.
Well, I didn't, yeah,
No
you know.
wonder TikTok flagged it. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Said-
The views said, bye.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You
a lot,
guys?
Matthew.
Want to know a fact? Like a crazy fact? Or do you want a question?
We did a question, so let's do a fact.
Okay, so I just found this out yesterday. There are these animals in the Philippines. They're native to them, and they're called tazies. Like, it's spelt Tazier, but it's people say Taziers because
Okay.
Americans and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like this native monkey, and it's like teeny tiny monkey, and they have like these huge eyes. You know the monkey in Madagascar, the really big one. So they look like that.
Hi, King Julian.
Yes, more the fat small.
Oh,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huge eyes.
He looks like a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
look like that, and basically their eyes are really big because they're nocturnal and they hunt at night, so it's to help them like see things. But they so what I found out is that they can also spin their head 180 degrees, like they're literally like the biggest freaks ever.
Damn.
And due to them being nocturnal and hunting at night and shit, they're just like really shy and like super like kind of scared monkeys or something. They're considered monkeys, and they get very stressed easily, and will literally kill themselves if they they'll kill themselves
What?
if they're under high stress.
Relatable.
If there's too much light, and you know how
Did
they
you just
do
say
that?
relatable?
Do you know how they kill themselves? So they can't be held by humans. They can't be put in cages, or anything. Like even if like you're a human and you walk through their territory and you're there for too long,
You'll
it will
stress them out
literally
too much
stress
and they'll
them
kill
out.
themselves.
They literally bang their heads on things. I was gonna say.
Yeah, literally.
They'll bang their heads on trees, cages, walls, floors, anything. Whatever they're around, they will bang their heads
my
multiple times
God.
and until their cranium cracks.
That's so
So their
sad.
cranium cracks.
That is
It's
so
not
sad.
funny.
Could
But
you
it's like,
imagine just being like,
You walk by and shit. Yeah. What the
So they,
fuck?
and it cracks because it's thin. Like they actually have like thinner craniums. So yeah, literally, if
That
you
is
see a
actually
Tazier,
so
really
don't
sad.
ever touch them. Don't ever go up to them.
No.
Literally, like look down because if you look them in the eyes, they'll kill themselves.
how did you
That's
figure this
crazy.
out?
I know the craziest animal facts. Like,
Oh my
I just be
God.
reading books and like they'll be like, oh, Taziers, da da da, and then I'll search up stuff, and then you're like, yeah,
Girl.
Taziers are literally
That's wild.
highly stressed. They need anxiety medication. If anyone needs anxiety medication, it is those monkeys, and they're
Damn.
so tiny, and they're
Yeah, they're so small.
Yeah.
They look like little squirrels, kind of.
yeah.
That's so
That's
sad.
really sad.
It is.
I do not mean to laugh, but that's
No, because when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck?
no,
Oh my
literally.
God.
Yeah, I'll show you a photo of them. They look kind of creepy.
Tarsier?
Yeah,
That's not.
more
That looks like
More-
a Zaboomafoo,
Oh,
and they're tiny, like really tiny.
that doesn't look like
right?
the guy
It's
from
scary.
Madagascar.
No wonder they're all
They
stressed
made him
out.
cute.
look
They
like
made
that.
it way cuter, of course, but
Yeah.
like,
They had to because
That's
no
crazy.
child would want to watch that thing.
and they have like
Yeah.
these freaky little fingers. Oh my god, look! Isn't it just
Ugh.
freaky?
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
just
don't like
imagine that
at all.
banging its head
That's
until
disgusting.
it dies.
That is really
Girl.
sad and unfortunate.
Yeah. So that was
Thank you for that.
my fact.
The more you know, right?
Truly.
Because I would never would have known that information if you didn't tell me.
No.
I don't think I needed to know that information.
Hey
kill
man,
themselves.
maybe one day you're. Where did you say they are native to?
I guess
Philippines.
yeah,
Philippines.
to know, yeah.
Maybe if you ever go to the Philippines,
Yeah.
you'll know what it is at least.
Stay
Yeah,
the
lots
fuck
of
away
way.
from them.
Exactly.
Anyways, what was your question?
Oh, my question. Okay, my question was. This was actually a question I stole from someone, so shout out to you. When animals zone out, like dogs and cats or whatever, like, do you think they think about stuff? Like, you know, like you'll be like, I know, for example, like my cat, like, there's times where he'll just like stare at the wall or something, and then you're like,
What are you thinking about?
yeah, like, what do you think that they're thinking? Like, and if they're thinking about things, is it like, I'm hungry, I want food? Like, is it like dumb, or is it like
sophisticated,
freaking like
human?
introspective?
That's
like,
a whole.
whoa,
yeah,
like
that's a
they're
whole
thinking
thing.
about their moms and like shit.
I
or
think cats might have more
going on up
like
there.
Definitely.
intricate kind of thoughts, but I think dogs is definitely like. I don't. For me, I feel like if a dog just zoned out, I feel like they're literally just staring at something and there's
And there's
nothing.
no thoughts there.
But cats, I think cats might actually be thinking
Yeah.
yeah.
about something more like complex or complicated, whereas a dog, like, they just be staring at like a squirrel and
Yeah.
just
And I'm actually curious. What's the real tea on this?
literally just staring for no fucking reason.
Yeah, like I don't know. I was just like, yeah, like do they think about like maybe
Animals.
like when they're puppies or kittens and they think about their
Souls.
moms or something, or like thinking like they just ate and they're like that food was busting.
Many
like,
abilities.
you know,
That shit.
like needs to run that shit again. That's time for dinner.
For a long time, many abilities were thought to be exclusively human, but in the last few years, we learned that newborn chickens can calculate, chimpanzees help each other, parrots talk, hello, and scrub jays plan for the future. Like retirement or every week new findings support the idea that animals are indeed capable of thinking. Interesting.
What was one of the things? Parrots talk. Oh my god! Have you seen the video? That TikTok of that parrot that like talks to its owner, and it's like, "I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you." And it like does this thing, and she's like, "No, you're scaring me."
That is
And it's like,
terrifying.
"No, it's fine. I'm not gonna hurt you." And she's like, "You're gonna
Where
bite
did
my
it learn
toes."
to say that?
And then it literally will go and try to bite her
Yeah.
toes, and it just like,
Because
"I'm
don't
not gonna hurt
Parrots
you."
just
And
puppy
it's
stuff.
so
Yeah.
creepy.
But the fact that it's like saying,
It's so creepy. And you know, like birds turn their eyes to look at you,
Ooh.
and it does that, and it just like comes closer.
no, it's a
Oh.
wrap.
have you seen the one where there's this guy had his parrot like set up in his like garage? I guess that was like the parrot's little area, and the parrot was screaming all day. So, but it sounded like a girl screaming. So the
No.
neighbors,
I heard about
the
this.
neighbors called
Call
the
the
cops,
police.
Girl.
and then the cops are like, come up and they're like, "Do you have someone in like your garage
Yeah.
or whatever?" And then he's like, no. And then they're like, well, we got reports like hearing
They're
screaming. And he's like, you want to hear who the screamer is? And he brings the parrot out. And the parrot's like,
No, that's
but
so
like it
fun.
sounded like
That's
a human
crazy.
scream. Like it didn't sound like a
'cause
bird.
they mimic exactly.
It reminds me of there's this video of police going to this woman's house.
The wig one.
Yes, I was just thinking
She's like,
that.
my weave. And then the cops just start
Are
laughing.
you like a hairstylist
Yeah.
or like something? And she's like, no.
I
He's
literally-
like,
Yeah.
okay, well, like someone called and there's like some hair sticking out of here.
my weave.
Because it
She
literally
started
looked like
cackling.
someone in her trunk.
It was
and
like
their-
blonde or something.
their
No, it was
hair-
brown
it
hair
was
on like
brown.
a white
brown?
car, so it was like very
on
easy
a
to
white
spot.
car. That's what it was.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I just remember it was popping.
Girl, that is wild.
No, that was funny. That was a good one.
I don't even know what you would do in that situation. Because for a second, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
No, literally.
Like,
You'd
did
like
someone
second guess.
Climb in my trunk or like what's going on?
You're like, how do I explain this to someone?
Right?
So, what now?
I think we should really just get right into it.
Perfect.
Today we want to talk about Vancouver. What specifically do you want to talk about in Vancouver? Do you have any specifics? Like,
it is a somewhat general thing. Like, you know, we're not just here to necessarily bash it, I guess. Like, we can look at some good things.
loved you, Vancouver.
Yeah.
I feel like
beautiful gowns.
Gowns, beautiful gowns.
I feel like when I thought of this topic, like instantly, like negative things
Of
came to my
course.
head.
Unfortunately.
But like, I love living in Vancouver.
Yes.
Beautiful place. Like, there's a lot to do here. Outdoorsy things, indoorsy things.
Cherry blossom.
Cherry blossoms.
Love
Apparently, we're
cherry
the only
blossoms.
place that got them.
Woo!
Not my mom coming into the comments being like, no.
Actually, she said, actually.
She was like, China actually has a lot of cherry blossoms.
Like, that's
I'm
not
like,
true.
girl, you didn't see the TikTok? Like, I posted an apology.
She didn't even read the caption. The
No.
caption
Yeah.
explained
Reading
what was.
comprehension. Mhm.
We love you, Miss Lena, but
Yes. Not reading comprehension.
No, she's a very smart lady. She love you, mother.
Who gave you the right to talk about me?
but yeah, there's obviously lots of things that we would wish were different or we'd like to change, but like all in
course.
all, like of course, like there's other places like I could live, but
you
like
probably-
I'm like very content, like and happy living in Vancouver
Yeah,
for me.
for the most part.
Yeah. I think, like, when it comes to Vancouver, I think it's a specific type of person that you should be. Like, if you are someone that loves to go out and loves, like, and go out, I mean, like, city life, like, you can get the city life here, but it's might not be as fulfilling as if you were to be, like, in a different, like, city.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like, because here, like, depending on the weather, there's so many variables. Like, people don't really go out as much when it rains or snows, for sure. People go out for sure, but like you don't. You see, like,
Unfortunately.
as
them
soon as the
clubbers,
sun,
they will risk it.
yeah. But then as soon as you see the sun out, you see like the whole of the whole city comes out. So it's like
Totally.
it's one of those things where like people do other things. Like, we do stuff outdoors, we do stuff indoors, but like it's a different vibe. Where I feel like it's something I've noticed with a lot of people that come here that aren't from here, and they're like, what do you guys do? And I'm like, we like chill at home. Like, people literally stay home, go out to eat,
Yeah.
go to each other's
To
homes.
be very fair though, we at least for me, like there's so much to do in Vancouver, and like things that like people come from other provinces or other countries, they come here to do, I've never done before.
Yeah.
And I've lived here my whole life.
Yeah.
Like I've never been to Capilano Suspension Bridge.
Really?
Never
Because
done
it's
that.
expensive.
It is.
Okay, so
I live here, that's why
my
I don't wanna
coworker
pay
was
for it.
telling me, like, if you ever want to go, you get the
Season pass.
the seasons pass,
Yeah.
because it's like the same price just to go for the one time pass. And if you get the seasons pass, you can go for like the Valentine's Day thing, the Halloween thing, the
Yeah.
Christmas thing, and then I think there's another one. There's like 4 like big like things where they
literally-
have decorations.
As long as you go more than one time, you're good.
and
Right,
it
you
so
make
it
your
just
money
makes
back.
sense to get
Okay.
the yearly pass
Yeah.
instead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay, well, maybe
never
I'll
done
go there
that.
then.
Like what's it called? Like the little flyover Vancouver. Like I've never done any of that.
I've done that.
Never
It's
done
good.
any of that.
Is
I
it-
love that.
Okay.
That's cute.
Yeah, I've never done that either.
No, but there's a lot of things to like, especially if you're an outdoorsy person. Like Vancouver's a good place to
That's
be
what
because
it
like
is.
you drive a couple hours up to Grouse Mountain, Cypress, Whistler.
Yeah.
You go snowboarding, skiing, lots of
Vancouver
beautiful
Island.
mountains to do
Yeah.
hiking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I just think we're not those people. So
No, because literally when people like from other countries or whatever, like I have friends in the States and they'll visit or whatever and they'll be like, so what do we do or whatever? I was like, girl, I don't know. I don't
go to my
nothing.
friend's
Like,
house.
I don't know what to
stay
do
at
here.
home.
I like to go outdoors personally. I do enjoy that. I love the water. I like shit like that, and I like to go to like the other islands around Vancouver, the coast.
Yeah.
But like the thing about also I think being in Vancouver is because of how expensive it is. Like the things that you want to do, like taking a ferry to go to here, taking and then staying. It's actually like a lot more
It all adds
expensive to
up.
explore like Vancouver, BC, like
Yeah.
than it is to like go to like somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's where it can be a bit of a thing for people, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, including myself.
Speaking of expenses,
Get into it.
who decided these prices?
Dude.
For
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I was gonna,
Everything.
but I'm like,
I was like,
everything.
yeah.
We'll
Like,
start with housing, because what,
Girl.
like when I look at the housing, I'm like, when am I gonna be able to leave my parents' house? Like realistically, like I could, but I'd be living
struggling.
paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
you would.
Absolutely.
And
You'd be pinching pennies.
who wants to live like that? I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to do anything other than literally pay for rent, and I'd probably like barely be able to buy food and like groceries.
Literally. And at that point, you're just barely surviving.
Yeah, then like what's the point then? If I want to
Exactly.
enjoy my freaking life.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I just like I have a few friends that are like moving out or live by themselves, and like they're trying to find a place. Like for the past like I think like few months this year, I've like had a few friends that or 2 years I have a few friends that have been moving around, and just seeing like the different like how much more it goes up every year or
Yeah.
every few months, and like people that never would want roommates literally are now like I'm
You have
going
no
to have
choice.
a roommate because
Yeah.
I don't have a partner, I don't have any of this, and that's like literally what it's come to at this point is like you have to have someone that you know to live with, because if you're by yourself, like
Good luck.
basements are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I saw basements and I'm like, this much?
Yeah.
My one of my mom's friends moved out of their place, and I think he said his place, or she said his place was like 900 square feet. Not huge, not small, but not huge.
How many beds? Like rooms?
Two
2 bed?
bed.
Yeah,
I think
that sounds like for Vancouver. That sounds like a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
2 bedroom, and I think like 1 bathroom.
Yeah.
And so they've now moved out. They're renting that place and charging $3,000.
I was going to say
a
3,000.
month. And you know what's so
For
crazy?
a 2-bedroom?
Yeah.
I think like 2 bedrooms might.
They go for more than that, too.
Yeah.
But mind you, like tiny bedrooms, like they're not big. It's only
Okay,
900
okay,
square
okay.
feet, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like my place, like we live in a condo, and our place is 14 or 1500 square feet, and maybe like 2-3 years ago our realtor said if we wanted to rent our place out, it could be for around $3,000. Like if this person is renting his place out
Way more.
900 square feet for $3,000, how much are we gonna charge? I could easily, my mom
Probably
could
like
be
4
like
to 5.
like 4,500
Yeah.
easy, but then who the fuck is gonna pay for that?
People would make it work because they're going to get a bunch of people in there.
Yeah.
To split it.
Yeah.
Because there's technically like 3 rooms. It'd be like 3 people living in there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy. I don't know. I just like even when I was doing my search for the place that I'm in now, like this was on like we kind of lucked out. I feel because like looking around like for what you got around here, and like you know like you're like, oh, I like thought of like the heritage homes because they look so nice on the outside. Inside, like I like the old. I like older homes because I feel like there's certain things that like in these new homes it's so cheaply made.
Yeah.
It's just like this. There's no
It's
space.
that like IKEA, like Nordic kind of vibe.
People love this like this mid-century modern vibe, but it's literally it's
like particle board.
yes.
Yeah.
And then you have these fridges that are integrated and they don't fucking work. There's all these things. It's just like it's just not sustainable for like someone that lives in a home. Like it just is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around and like they're so nice, but then the prices that they're charging, you don't have in-suite laundry, you don't have like there's all these things. You're paying all the utilities, like everything's just like a lot. There's no parking, there's this and that, and you're still sharing it. Like there's different levels, and they're still like renting out every single spot that's possibly can be rented out there. And then you go into these other places in areas that are not really attainable for me. I personally don't want to live in certain areas in Vancouver. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Or outside of Vancouver, I should be specific. And then you're seeing like that's how much you're charging to live
There?
Surrey?
Yeah.
No Tino shade when I went to though, like King George area.
The
I
new
was
building.
shocked.
Surrey does have some nice areas. Like,
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people, me being one of them, shit on Surrey like a lot.
But
there are some
pockets
nice
in
areas.
Surrey.
Yeah.
There is 100%, and like by the SkyTrain is where it was always like really dingy. Like you don't go there because like it's scary.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, wow, they've done so much development around there. What King George, and then there's another spot that got upgraded, I think, in Surrey by the SkyTrain.
By the SkyTrain, because the other SkyTrain stations are
Yeah.
King
is it
George.
Gateway.
Surrey
Not
Central
Gateway.
is scary as shit.
Oh, Surrey Central.
Gateway,
is it just King George?
Gateway
Yeah.
scary as shit. Scott Road, there's not really any buildings around there.
Okay, then
And
yeah.
then
it was
after
just
that,
King
it goes
George
into
then.
New West.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally so much development that I'm like, there's multiple.
It must be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just stops right at King
Because
George.
the school's there. That's what it
Yeah.
is. There's the SFU. Was that what it's
Yes,
there?
SFU and KP. Or no, not KPU, just SFU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, there is a KPU there.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's just so much happening over there, and it looks great. And I'm like, oh, wow. And there's skyscrapers. These
Yeah.
buildings.
But again, this is all renting, right? Like
Yeah.
how about owning a house? Because
Dude.
renting is just literally throwing away money.
Girl.
At this rate, like you have to rent.
I know.
It's I actually saw a thing saying, I don't know if it was like Vancouver specifically, but in certain places it's cheaper for you to rent than it actually is for you
have a mortgage.
to have a mortgage.
Exactly. Like and that's why you end up buying. You have to look. Everyone that lives in Vancouver, like, think about potentially buying property elsewhere and moving out of the place. Like, it's kind of come to that. Like, everyone's like, where am I gonna go? Because
Calgary.
if I want
a lot of people be buying places in Calgary.
Calgary's getting up there too.
Is
Yeah.
it?
I'm not surprised.
Like, I was just seeing someone talking about like but I know this more for rental. I know some of the homes are getting more expensive, but it's still way more affordable than
Yeah.
Vancouver. But for the rental market, I remember seeing like some girl posted a TikTok and she was like, this is like lineups out the door just to like find a rental in Calgary, I believe it was. And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
Calgary's like
And then
that?
like even like, but okay, you buy a place. Let's say it's not a house. Let's say it's a townhouse or an apartment. Strata.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Strata is
Stratas are-
ridiculous.
They are shisty bitches. And then gas prices. Is
That's
that, like,
what I need
universal
to talk
everywhere?
about. That's what I need to talk about, believe it or
Okay.
not. Okay. So I had a loaner vehicle while my car was getting repaired. I usually drive an electric vehicle. I was driving a gas vehicle. It was a 2023 Toyota Camry. So like a regular sedan,
Should be
decent
good
size.
on gas.
It's Toyota.
It wasn't. They have a hybrid one of it, but this wasn't a hybrid. But still, it's just a basic car like that everyone gets or whatever. First of all, it gets like 400 kilometers on a full tank. My car goes further than that. So what the fuck is this argument about electric cars don't go that far or whatever? No, the fuck they don't. Second of all, I had the car for 3 days. I spent $40 on gas.
Yep.
For 3 days. Over $10 a day to drive. If I average that out over the month, I'm paying $400 fucking dollars a month for gas.
$40 for 3 days sounds decent. Why does that sound? Wait, full tank. How much did you like fill the tank?
No, what I mean is like I got the car with a full tank. I had to bring the car back with a full tank.
Yes.
So the amount that I spent to go back up to a full tank was the amount that I used. $40 of gas.
Damn.
For 3 days. Over $10
See,
a day.
With how gas is now, I'm like, that's pretty good. But
That's what
only
I'm thinking.
3 days is not a lot.
No.
And I'm assuming you weren't
That's
doing like
$400.
that much
I
driving.
I did nothing out of the blue. I went to work and back and like whatever, maybe here and there, but like I was averaging like maybe like 50 kilometers a day, and maybe that's a lot, whatever. But like $400 a month for gas.
Yeah,
That is
you
psycho.
also you have your. I'm thinking in like if that was your car to keep, those 3 days you only paid $40. But if that was your car, period, like how much you're gonna have to pay every fucking month to keep the tank up.
But aren't electric vehicles starting to get like they're gonna have some type of tax or something?
Yeah,
that's
the
going
road
into
tax,
it?
isn't
What's
that a
going on
thing?
with that?
That's more in Alberta, I think.
Oh.
Alberta's being
sure?
shiesty.
I was-
I'm sure BC will probably bring it in. But yeah, they're basically saying that like because electric vehicles are heavier, they do more damage to roads, which is bullshit. But anyways, because there's fucking Hummers out here and shit. And yes, there's like semi trucks and everything. They do pay that apparently because obviously they are bigger vehicles or whatever. But they're just trying to get the money out of it because they're not getting the tax money from gas. Because literally gas prices, I'm sure you know, 40% of that is the actual cost of gas. 60% plus is all taxes.
They're
But yeah,
introducing even more taxes to the gas.
yeah, like carbon taxes and everything. Yeah.
Right? Or
But when
something,
I
I read
when I
something.
filled up, it was like 211, which is pretty high, but it's been pretty average. Like it's been averaging anywhere between like $1.70 to like 211. And honestly, the difference between those two does not make a difference when you look at like an entire tank. Like it's pennies, right? But like $400 fucking dollars, and it's just like where my mind went was like I could put $400 a month towards an electric car pretty much because I spend like if I do the average of like what I've been spending on electricity, basically I spend like $40 a month on electricity, and I spent that much in 3 days. So it's like when you do the math, it's like that leaves $360 difference, right? I could put $360 towards an electric car, and then now I'm basically breaking even, let alone the cost of the gas car. So it's like literally all you have to do is like if you look at an electric car like, oh, that's really expensive, it's like maybe it's like let's say it's $500 a month. You have to subtract $360 from your gas savings, and you're left with what, 200 and not even 240, whatever, $240 a month for your car,
Crazy.
because you're paying for gas. If you get a $100 car a month, $200, not even a gas car, maybe you get like $300 a month, $400 a month. Then you're spending another $400 a month on gas. Here's your $800 a month car. What the fuck for a Camry, an SE base model? What the fuck?
I don't know, the way that cars are being made now too is obviously like the new ones you're thinking it's gonna be better, but they don't last as long anymore.
You better off with a 08 Honda Civic
For
at this
real.
point.
It's
But
so
those are worse on
crazy.
gas.
Yeah.
Is it?
Absolutely, the older cars are 100% worse. Newer cars have they have smaller engines, right? So older cars would have like V6s or whatever. They've moved them down to like 4 cylinders. Less cylinders means more efficiency or whatever. And like yeah, like my CRV that was a 2017, it was getting like 12 liters per 100 kilometers. That's crazy.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know, I miss her. But
We
she was
never
a gas
saw that
guzzler.
car.
No.
I know, literally.
I never saw
Because I
that
had
car.
it for like 4 months.
Yeah.
But literally, it was fucking so expensive for gas. It was crazy.
The other day
I'm
when I
saving
was-
money by having my car versus a fucking CRV.
I was
yeah, it's an SUV, but
driving
still.
to work, and from afar I just saw the 9 at the end, and I was like, oh my god, is gas $1.99? Drove up.
219.
Nope. It was it was 213.9.
Girl, oh yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, it's always
are you serious right now?
so crazy.
I'm talking to my mom, and she's like, oh yeah, when I first got, when we were first given this car, like I used to put $50 in the car,
call
full
it.
tank.
Girl, and I put $40 in it
Put
for
$50 in
basically
the car. I'm getting a couple ticks below half a tank.
Nah.
I'm not even
yeah.
getting a full tank. I just put
Crazy.
$70 in the car. Give me like 2 ticks below a full tank.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Are you fucking
dude.
kidding me?
It is so crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I saw this girl, because I thought like maybe on the conversation of like jobs and stuff before, because we had like a conversation about jobs like yesterday, the day, or sometime this week, and this girl on TikTok was like, so anyone that lives in Vancouver like also like literally not getting any jobs.
Yeah.
You see the TikTok? And she was like, I literally have been applying for months, and people are like, I've been applying for months, I literally don't hear anything, this and this and that, and it's like so difficult for people to get jobs. And then you go into like Earls today, and you're seeing
We're
it's
hiring.
like all children, and they're all hiring, and you're like, so how are like grown people with lots of
Degrees,
and
education, whatever, certifications.
lots of whatever on their resume?
I'm out of words. Experience?
Thank you. Can't even get a
I
fucking
don't know why
job.
I could not think of that.
Yeah, I don't know
word
why
for
it was
the life
not.
of me.
It was not coming. I'm like, people have like so much experience and can't get anything. I remember I'm in like a community group chat for the area that I live in, and someone was like, hey, like I'm like been in bartending for like 19 years. I've worked in like prestigious places, blah blah blah, and I've been out of work and can't find a job. Like it's been like a year now. And I'm like, this
That's
guy
crazy.
has like 19 years of experience.
Yeah.
He's worked in
Can't find
hotels, he's worked in casinos, and he can't get a fucking job. And I'm like, I wanted to do bartending because I was like, it's just like, I don't know, I just wanted like experience being a bartender. I just think it'd be so fun. And I have no experience. And I remember like trying to apply to find some places and I didn't hear shit. Nope. I can't even probably get bar back. Like I can't do that. And I'm like, homeboys has 19 and you couldn't get anything. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's another thing. Like on that note, it's like even the jobs that are available pay you pennies.
Oh yeah.
For like, you know, master's degree, 15 years of experience, whatever, and it's like $40,000 a year. Because like now that I have my degree and everything, I'm looking at these jobs and I'm like, you're paying that much? Excuse me, what? I have a fucking degree. I went to school for 5 years for this shit. And I'm literally getting paid more to do what I'm doing currently, which is not in my line of education. So why the fuck would I go do that and take literally a huge pay cut to go do introductory marketing stuff when I'm getting paid more now? It's so wild, the level of experience they need. It's like, and that's why probably like you're hearing that like people are like, oh well, I'm applying jobs or whatever, and that they still want like, or people are still hiring. It's because like, yeah, because what you need is so beyond like possible and like reasonable,
and then it's like
crazy.
Oh, we need you to have this and this, and then it's like, okay, well, how am I going to get this experience if no one's going to hire me?
Literally
you need 15 years of experience. Well, how am I going to get that experience if I don't have experience?
and no one wants to give you the experience. No one.
It makes like
so crazy.
It makes no sense at all. Like I don't understand. Must have at least 1 year experience. Okay, then fucking hire me so I can get the experience.
Exactly.
Teach me.
Because eventually there has to be that one place that will hire somebody who has no experience.
Exactly.
Where the fuck is that place? Because I haven't seen them.
Where?
And it's like, you know, like people could lie on their resumes, but like you can't even lie about certain experiences. Like the amount of times that some people want, you're like, I can't lie about that.
No.
Because they'll go in depth too, especially when they want that many qualifications. They'll go in depth to make sure you have them or whatever. The worst too is like when like people of older generations or whatever like bash our generation or something about like our work ethic or our jobs or whatever. I'm like, you got to fucking walk into this place and get hired, and all they wanted was your loyalty and your, you know, undying will or whatever, and like you're fine. It's like, it's not like that anymore.
And at the same time, it's like I saw a TikTok of this guy going around asking like older people, how much did you pay for your first house? And this one lady was like $9,000, $12,000. I think the most I heard was like $30,000. Because
they love to say, "Oh, minimum wage is $17." Back in my day, it was 25
and
cents.
I'm like, okay, you need to understand like young people having like a poor work ethic, which I don't think like at least the people that I know, I feel like we don't have poor work ethics.
No, it's their definition of it is my point, is like, because they love to think that like, because older generations are all about like loyalty and like you have to be at that job, whatever. Because we were just talking about like, you know, calling in sick and everything and being like, oh, don't do that because like that shows them, you know, you're not loyal to them or whatever. It's like companies don't care about that, and like people think, older generations think that is indicative of like a bad work ethic or that you're going to leave or whatever. It's like, no, it's about prioritizing yourself. If you're not getting what you need, go dip and find another job that will, because they will. Your job does not care if you live or die fully.
Dude, I was literally talking about this to someone, like, because they didn't want to call in sick one day over this thing, and I'm like, babe, like, they literally don't give a fuck about you.
They don't care if you live or die. Like, prioritize yourself.
You could drop dead and they will have your role replaced
fully
in a week.
Yep.
And, like, I don't know, it's just, that's why it's like, okay, people like to be like, Gen Z, like, blah, 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 like, we just don't have an ethic, but, like, no, I think we're just very aware now, like, literally where we stand, and, like, that's why it's like, we're quick to get a new job. Yeah. If it doesn't serve me, I'm out.
It's not like a negative outlook on, like, you know, to assume the worst or to know that, like, this is the truth or whatever. It's like, it's better for us to think this now rather than getting fucked over later.
100%.
That, and I also think, like, people our age, like, you know, like older generations, I feel like they worked like you were saying, because like they're super loyal to their company, like even if they didn't like it, they're like, okay, like, oh, I have to stay because I've been here for this long. But I think people our age are more focused on like, okay, if I'm not happy doing this, then why am I doing it? Right? Yeah. And on top of that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, and I'm still not gonna have enough money for this and this. Like, what the fuck is the point? Right? It's like almost like I'd rather you know, work this and like maybe not make as much or not get as many hours, but like at least I love what I'm doing. And like
if you're gonna be there for literally like whatever percentage of your life, like,
Exactly.
you may as well like it.
Also, keep in mind, a lot of older generations had children young. So like they didn't really have a choice. Like you had to get that job that's consistent and be able to do it so then you can like provide for your families. We don't have kids. People our age are not like there's
I can't
sure,
afford
a few,
kids, girl.
you know,
I can barely
like,
afford myself.
no
You think I'm
one's
gonna afford a
having children. You
child?
don't have to now like sacrifice what we want to do for people because we literally have people depending on us. Like the only person I'm depending on me is myself.
And that's a struggle in itself, girl. Like fuck.
You know, so like why am I now gonna try and like put myself in this situation where I'm working somewhere and I'm like, okay, well I can't go anywhere. Like I don't have that.
No.
So if what I want to do is fulfilling to me and it helps and makes me a little bit of money, great. If it makes me a lot of money, even better.
Period.
But like, you know, I'm not gonna like just do something I don't like and I literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There was I can't remember if it was like here or somewhere else or whatever, but like this woman was literally losing money by going to work because of how much she had to spend on childcare. And like somebody had to literally tell her and she didn't even realize. People didn't even realize that. You are losing money going to work. How fucking crazy is that? She literally would be better off without a job staying at home because it costs her more than what she's making at work to have someone take care of her child. That is so sad.
Is a whole other rodeo. How expensive it is for daycare.
Yeah. Dude. And that's another thing back to older generations. There was no like childcare or whatever because your parents would take care of them or your the child's grandparents.
Best
whatever.
believe.
Family.
Yeah.
The day I
was
have
everywhere
children,
but daycare. Are you kidding me?
Mom,
Girl, I was
Auntie Kelsey, Uncle Matthew. I'm sorry.
this one said fuck them kids. You don't want him taking
No,
care
honestly,
of the children.
after that,
Nah, I'm taking for a drive down to the school zone.
Because you're not allowed to be alone. It's giving.
That's all right.
No.
I'm like, no, I got plenty of friends, lots
your
of
kids
aunts
are
and
gonna want to hang out with
uncles.
me. I'll
Y'all
be
are
the
gonna
gunkle.
be babysit. Sorry, I have to go to work. Can you go with so and so? And honestly, I feel like I kind of would rather have that than like, not saying daycare is bad. Like I went to daycare and like they would take us on like lots of activities. We'd always be going on field trips and stuff.
It's hit or miss for sure. But
some daycares, they literally just let the kids sit inside.
You'd be hearing stories about them getting lost and getting out by
like
my anxiety is too
iPad
much.
children just sitting on the iPad inside all day. Like, no, I want you to take them outside,
touch
explore,
grass.
Yep.
Like touch some fucking grass.
go eat some dirt or something.
Like literally, what do children do now?
Fully.
I literally, when we were coming here, I was like, remember when I was like, I don't see any kids. It's a nice day, and I don't see any kids outside.
Or even like
it's so
my
sad.
cousins,
They're inside
upstairs just chilling.
I'm like, don't y'all
They
have
do
kids?
be-
Don't remember the knock. Can so and so come outside to play? Y'all don't do that.
They do be going outside though. I will say, I feel
Thank
like it was just
God.
the day that we were here, but kids, period, just are
TikTok.
always inside. And why are you like 10 years old with a phone?
Girl.
Like, I remember I got a phone when I was in grade 6 because I would walk.
And that's early.
And that was early.
Yeah.
It was. And that's because I would walk home from school.
Yeah.
I would walk from school to home back.
Same
And
here.
it was, and my mom's
That
like,
was
okay, I want you to
only
have
reason.
a phone. And it was like a brick phone. Like, you
Oh,
have
yeah.
like
QWERTY keyboard.
50 texts a month or something. Like, you know, about a few
For
minutes.
evenings and weekends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yup.
It was one of those. Like, you don't use it because I'm a child. I'm still
Yeah.
outside. But, like, that's why when you're young, you had a phone.
I shouldn't even say 10 years. Like the kids have phones even younger than that.
Dude.
iPads, whatever. I had my first iPod, I think, when I was like 12, 13.
Elementary school.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
guess.
know?
Well, how old are you in
Like
grade
7,
5?
6, I remember.
Grade 7, you're like 13-ish, 12 to 13. So
Grade 5, you're like 10.
10-ish.
Okay, so I guess I had my first phone when I was 10, but it was like literally like there was nothing
brick.
to do on it. It was
Yeah.
just to call my mom. It was
Yeah.
the little slidey phones.
Yeah.
And again, it was just because I was walking home and I didn't get like my first like iPod or iPad or like touchscreen phone until I was way older.
Like I had like a DS, which is like a different, you know.
Okay, DS is
yeah,
different.
like that Game Boy.
But what was I doing with that DS? I was
PSP.
knocking on my neighbor's door and being like, "We're gonna battle in Pokemon right now." Because
Like-
like,
I
what
was
the
not a
fuck?
Pokemon girl. I played the
neither.
Bratz game. I played Cookie Mama.
Yes,
Like,
Cookie Mama.
all the Mario games. I love those Mario games. Like those are, like, the
Nintendogs,
games
y'all
I
in
love.
Nintendogs? girl?
Yes.
That was a
Somewhere
good one.
a Nintendo is dying.
No, but heavy on the
Yeah.
is so and so home.
Literally.
Like because when I growing up, I lived in like a co-op.
Yeah.
So there was like so many kids, and then they'd have like the little playground in
That's
the
what
middle.
I want for my kids
And
to
it
have
was
like a complex.
so fun.
Oh,
I
that's the
loved having like my
best.
neighbors like and being friends with them.
It
and
was
everything.
so fun. Or like
endless. I would be
my-
like crying when I couldn't play with them.
Yeah.
Or when I was
my
trying to come
like
back home.
dream thing for like far in the future, like married with kids, is to live in a cul-de-sac.
No.
I want there's this one cul-de-sac in Queens Park, and I like if I drive by it, I always look and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking buy one of these houses one day. Like
then your
that's
neighbors
the
gonna
goal.
be assholes and all this. There's
That's
so
the
many
thing,
variables.
though. That's the thing
Nobody,
about those.
yeah.
You always have some weirdos.
Because you might be on the vibe of like, I want my kids to be out and playing, but they're not.
No, my children will be outside
Oh,
playing.
absolutely.
mine are-
If I ever
Kids they're not gonna be out past 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah,
Literally.
but it's also, it's like, we're big talk about like, no iPad screens, whatever, but it's like when they're like gnawing at your patience and your whatever,
they're gonna have.
They'll
It's
be
inevitable.
able to.
They're
Like,
going
I watch
to.
TV. I had a DS. Like, it's not like you don't have like access to it, but you just need to like, I don't know. It's just like that's all that they use now. You're in a restaurant, you give a kid an iPad. You're there. They have.
Like
when
what
we would go
happened to the
restaurants with our
menus with the
families,
crayons you color on the back?
Exactly.
The
Like,
mazes. Do they
we
do
were
that?
there. We were present.
I mean,
and
to be
don't-
like with that, like I would then look at like getting a drawing app or whatever, something that's like not video games or whatever. Like you instead of like drawing on like a paper or whatever, you just get a drawing app on the iPad.
No, I want
That's
them to have
different.
crayons.
Same.
No, I get that though. Yeah, like the
Eat the
tactile.
crayons.
Just
yeah.
so, like,
experience
because I feel like once you start, like
it's a deep
it's hard
dive
to
and
get
you
it,
can't
and
stop.
you like indoctrinate this into your kids now. Where now, like my little cousins, like they would like my aunt like didn't want them to watch TV a lot when they were at their house, but then whenever they would come to like my aunt's house, and
Oh,
they were,
what is it? A switch flips and it's just like
it's like whoa, like, and you can't they're not even hearing you. They're like, do you have games? And then they're like, okay, I want to play, and like they'll cry, like
Yes.
it's like a drug.
That's the thing you're
Yeah.
teaching
it's
them.
crazy.
Yeah.
And like they don't and they had access to it, but then it got taken away from them, and now they want it from everyone else. So it's like they were doing the right steps, but they didn't realize, because this is like
Yeah.
still also like, I don't know, it was still like before kids now be like on their
They
phones.
need to be like stimulated in other ways, because if the only way you're stimulating them is through a fucking screen, that's all they're gonna fucking want.
Yeah.
Like all I wanted as a kid was to go outside and play with my neighbors,
Literally,
and like now
your
it's like
your mom's like, you smell like outside. Like kids these days do not be smelled like
yeah, I'd
outside.
be like get inside and have
No.
some lunch or something. I'm like, no, I'm busy.
Outside. My mom
Yeah.
would like stand on the balcony and she'd be like, Aisha, it's time to come back in. And I'd be like,
No.
another 20 minutes.
Yes.
Literally.
Please. And then it's like, okay, when the street lights turn off, you bet your ass better be in this
Speaking
house.
of the streetlights, I saw something where someone was talking about this like streetlight things, and like nowadays I would never let my kids come in at the streetlights, and I'm like, wait, why? Because streetlight times, like if it's daylight
Sunset.
yeah, like it's still
They
light
don't come
out.
on when it's like
If
pitch
it's
black.
winter,
No, it's,
I
like, just before
understand.
sunlight.
Maybe
Yeah.
because it's like it'll be
Sunset.
dark. I don't know. I'm like, what's the problem with that? Do you guys see a problem with that?
No, I've never actually heard that thing about like when
I
the lights
think
come on.
Really?
I've never heard that. Yeah,
I heard what?
like when the not somebody calling me. Like when the street lights come on, you better be inside. I've never heard that.
Oh,
Really?
My mom would say that. all the
Yeah,
time.
like when
well,
the
I mean,
street
like-
lights turn on, like you better be inside.
We
Yeah.
were all like in like our backyard, which didn't have like street lights because I was at the
Okay.
front. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I've never
okay.
actually heard that. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
that's
guess
funny,
it was
though.
a little different for me
For
because
complex.
yeah, because we
Mm-hmm.
lived in a townhouse and there was other townhouses around. There would be the little lights there, so
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, when it turns on, you better be
Go
inside.
inside, yeah. But like, what? So 'cause I guess I'm just not.
I guess like
What is it?
like it depends like where your kid, like if it's like a complex kind of thing,
Yeah.
then I like that's different because your kids are
See,
safe,
that's why
you
I guess
know.
I grew up that. That's
And then
how
like
it
for
was.
me, like we always had like the people who would live there and like they didn't have kids, but like they were always like watching out for the kids
Yeah,
kind of thing, and like
exactly.
watching, like everyone would, even if it's not your kid, like you're watching out for them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe that vibe is, it's not like that anymore.
Honestly,
Yeah.
no, because like to that argument, then like like them saying that, oh, that's not a good rule. Is like, what is a good rule then? Because like your kids can get abducted at any time of the day, sunlight, whatever. So
right?
no one's ever safe.
It doesn't
Literally.
It
And
doesn't
yeah,
stop.
like going
people.
back to what you said about like daycare and everything too. Like having kids like stresses me the fuck out when I think about it. I'm like, I would not be able to like. I'd just be worried every second of every day that my kid's gonna like die doing something, doing anything. I'm like, how did I survive as a child? How did I not literally die at every turn, every fall, every trip, whatever? Like I could
No,
have
because
died.
I did some stupid ass
Teeth ripped
shit.
out, whatever, like pop, like you know, you fall, your teeth pop out, like scratches, injuries, fucking your eyes gone. I don't know, like that's all the things that run through my mind is like, how the fuck am I gonna keep this child alive and not worry about it?
I literally was talking about this with my mom, like how like it would piss me off how she wouldn't let me go out in times, and how like I would be inside. I would go out with you, and then she would tell me to come back home. Mom's
And that's the thing too. Is
Low
like,
down for that.
I don't want to do that to my child either.
Yes.
Right? It's not just that like I want to like keep them safe. It's like I also don't want to like fucking be a helicopter parent either. I don't want to put them through
shelter them
that.
too much.
exactly. And my mom like was good. I was outside, but like there was times where like all your other friends literally,
Sorry,
you know, like all your other friends that like whose parents kind of don't give a shit about them,
Yeah.
just be out and you're like, wow, they can do this, da da da, and then I actually think about having my own child, and I'm like, whoa, you have to really like let go, because I literally would think the same thing when my brother was starting to go out by himself. Like I was older, obviously, so he would go out with his friends, and he would come home late, and I would actually worry.
Yeah.
He should not be out there. My mom's like, yeah, he's fine, because she's like been through it with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
She's like, he's good. Obviously, she doesn't go to sleep until
think-
you come home and all that stuff. But like,
it's also different when
Whoa.
the younger one's a male, right? Like for
Definitely.
me, like my younger sister, like it didn't end just because she was the youngest or like the second round or whatever. And even for me, yeah, especially like her being a girl, I'm like fucking terrified.
yeah. And I'm like, whoa, like shout out to my mom, because she actually gave me a lot of freedom, like a lot of freedom. And I'm like,
Me too. Yeah.
I have to be able to also apply that to my children if I have them, because I could see myself being like, oh, like, no, maybe you don't need to
just
go,
stay home.
you know.
Just
and
stay
I'm like,
inside with
okay,
me.
and that's how you get crazy ass kids.
Yeah.
That's when
It's
you get the
such a
kids.
fine
Now they're
balance.
lying to you. Oh, I'm going to so and so's house when they're popping pussy, Lord knows where.
Girl.
No, that's the thing too. Is like my kids will like. It will never be that thing of like I'm not one of your little friends. It's like no, I am, and you can tell me anything. And like
Yeah,
please.
exactly. I think
I'll still say it, but I'm still your friend.
you just have to say
Yeah,
it, you know.
like-
But like
No, it's only in like certain moments, but like when the whole vibe is like I am not your friend, like you will
Yeah.
respect me kind of thing, like that's different because I
Yeah.
will
I
earn
don't
my
fuck
child's
with that.
respect, right?
Yeah.
But I think I really like appreciate how my mom kind of, how our dynamic was. Like, you guys know my mom, like she's, she has her rules and her boundaries and stuff like that, but
They were warranted.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think like compared to like especially like other African parents, like my mom is very laid back. If you know other people's parents, like she was so far from strict. And I realize that now that I'm older, but of course when you're younger you're
All
like,
you see is the
oh,
restrictions.
like my mom is so strict. And then
Yeah.
you have your other friends and they're like, my mom lets me do this, and I'm like, well shit, I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Literally.
But now that I think about it, I'm glad that she was like that, because I feel like I would have turned out a lot different.
Yeah.
But she also kind of maintained like a friend kind of relationship vibe, why I think we have such a good relationship now, and like I'm so comfortable to go to her for anything now, and like we literally like be sitting in the couch when my dad's sleeping, like joking around, like she's like literally my best friend.
Yeah.
You're
So
also an only child, so that definitely impacts the dynamic as well. Because you don't have no
Firstborn,
siblings
though.
to
But you're
torment.
also firstborn male, so it's different. Whereas like I'm firstborn daughter, and like so like
It's
my
different.
mom and I are like this. Like she's like this with my brother, but it's also he's also like that because he had women raising him. So it's
Period.
like it's just like different when it's very different dynamic. But when you have siblings, also very different dynamic. Like love it,
Yeah.
love it. But yeah,
We kind of veered off of Vancouver, but I mean,
did. But that's-
I was gonna say last kind of point, I guess this kind of sums into like prices and how expensive everything is. If I'm going to, let's say, McDonald's, no, sorry, we don't go to McDonald's. Wendy's. Let's say we're going to Wendy's, okay?
is there any?
Wendy's is good.
Okay.
Let's say I'm going to Wendy's, and I appreciate you cooked my food for me and
I forgot
everything,
about this.
and I go to pay and I see on the screen, would you like to tip? What the fuck am I tipping you for?
What the fuck are you doing?
And okay, I don't want this to get twisted, because like of course we appreciate the work, and I know a lot of people make their money from tips. I'm not saying that you don't deserve tip, but like
I should not be paying your wage.
why, like,
I'm not trying to get skewed either,
you
but
need
like
to be
I'm not
getting
paying your
paid
wage.
properly. Why am I?
I'm not your employer.
What am I tipping you because you scoop some fries in a bag?
No,
Babe.
no.
Or go to the liquor store.
What?
What the?
What? So what did
Food
you do
court.
for me?
Food court.
What the fuck did you do for me? Because I'm trying to figure out. Oh, would you like to tip today on top of your little soju, bitch?
What?
For what?
For what?
For what?
For fucking what? I brought up to the register. You said beep.
Who does the tip go to at the liquor
That's
store?
what
It
I
gets
wanna
split.
find
It
out.
probably, and even maybe. it's
Okay,
even-
so
who
they're
even
gonna
knows
get
it's going
what,
to them.
3 cents each between all the
Exactly.
employees?
When I worked at, the tips got split or whatever, and I was getting like maybe $1, a couple cents, whatever, every so often, whatever. So yeah, it's not even going to that person. The tip culture has gotten so like we've moved so beyond the actual point of a tip, which is you feel obliged that this service has been above and beyond, where you feel the need to give a tip for like thank you for this.
To be so honest with you, I don't even know why the fuck I tipped today.
Bitch,
I
let me
was
tell you
gonna
something.
say,
I
was gonna
don't
tell you guys,
know why
saw
I
you guys
tipped
tipping.
today.
I was like, why the
no,
fuck would
'cause
you do
I
that?
Saw
We did
what
takeout.
irked my nerves was that actually it started at every single time that I go to pay for something, the tip goes up from, before it used to be 10%.
Girl.
Now it's 15%.
The starting was
now
18.
it's
18
18%.
up to what, like 30-40% is wild.
I said 10, and it was giving $2.
No, girl.
Because even then I was nice.
At first
Yeah.
I was like, and then I saw Kelsey tip and I was like, fuck.
No,
maybe
but
we
I
should
did like, it was like $2.
I switched it to 10 too.
Yeah, because
I
Girl.
switched
you
it.
got me fucked up.
'Cause
And
the-
even then I shouldn't have.
Yeah, the place we went to, if we had sat down, that is
That's
where you
different
tip,
because we
that
got a
is
service. We got service.
Literally, you told the kitchen our order, you brought it to us in a bag. That's it. That's literally, I could have done that at a food court. I'm not tipping there either. I'm so sorry. I'm not fucking tipping. And I'm not going to be made to feel bad about it anymore. I'm so, like, I used to feel, and we're made to feel guilty about it when we see that because we think it's personal. But it's like, you know what? As much as I appreciate that person and, like, I want you to have a livable wage, it is not my fucking responsibility. I'm so
Period.
sorry. It is that business's fucking responsibility. It has nothing to do with that individual, me saying, like, fuck you to them. It's like, tell your fucking employer to pay you properly.
And also, it's not going to them. It's probably for the back of the people cooking your food.
Yeah.
That's what I think about also in that, because it's like, okay, for takeout, like, and you don't have to do it every time, but like, do tips go to, do you guys know? I haven't worked in like
a restaurant?
Some
I
of
think
it
they
has
split
to
it.
go because it has to go to the cooks.
Of course.
Because or else how are they going to get any tips?
It's not fair, yeah.
You didn't, just a little thing. We went to Earl's and I gave you guys a little $2 tip. You did not deserve it because my food was brick hard and it was garbage.
Yeah.
I hate Earl's. Earl's, you suck.
You gave
Your
us the
food
wrong
always
thing.
was terrible, and I should have known, but I got caught slipping because I was starving, and I will never go back again. Earl's, if you hear this, you suck. Okay.
And you didn't give me my onion for my sandwich when I said I wanted onion.
Why are you being nice? Drag them.
I was just about to say I like my food, but yeah, no.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
No, it's because, and that's another
it's-
thing too. All these places that like I don't tip at, I know they're getting minimum wage. Like restaurants and everything, I know there's different rules. Like they do get minimum, so like that's a whole other thing. That shouldn't be a thing. But in that case, like it sucks because like then you do feel kind of obliged because you know they're not. And it's like I went to a bar like a long time ago, or a club or whatever. And it was like, I think it was like Halloween or something. And there was two bartenders, a guy and a girl. And, you know, the girl was in like some basic like slutty blank costume or whatever. And she was like doing the bare minimum, shake, 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 whatever, giving you drinks, whatever. The guy was like juggling all this shit, whatever. I was like, I'm gonna tip him, yeah. But we got the girl, and then like we tipped like, I don't think we tipped like very low or whatever, because obviously when you do it at a club, you're like, you're giving cash, you get something back, you have to give. I hate that too, like the cash, whatever. I'm upset how much I feel about cash, but then she literally she after we give her like the, you know, bad tip or whatever, she's like, you know, if you don't tip, we literally don't get paid, right?
Shut the
Fully, and this is like 3 years ago. Yeah, she's like, you know, if you don't tip, we don't like get paid, right? I'm like, I wish I could go, like, this is the moment where I wish I could go back in time, because I would be like, yeah, how about you look at your counterpart over there who's like fucking flipping shit in the
But
air,
also, like,
then
why,
I'll give you a tip,
why is that
bitch.
my fault, babe?
That's not
Like,
cool.
Why is that my
fully.
fault?
Yeah.
That's not cool. Like,
Besides, this is besides the point too, but like, girl, you think I'm going to be interested in you and your titties out and everything? I'm looking at the guy. Thank
I'm
you.
so
I'll give him a tip. Yeah.
I'm so fucking
yeah.
bad.
Could you imagine?
Got me fucked up.
No, because
Bitch.
you know what? Like, I understand that, like, it's a system that, like, no one can improve except the people that are, like, on top.
The government.
Whatever.
It's the government.
And that's not our job, and I get it. But, yeah, it's just, like...
It's so sad that the government allows companies to allow consumers to pay their people's wages. Like, you're an
Tipping-
employee of us, but your consumers are paying your wages.
Tipping is
more
also
directly,
such a
right?
North American thing.
It
Like,
is.
Yes.
in
If you
other
go to Europe,
countries,
they do not do
tipping
that.
is
Yes.
considered rude.
Yes.
Very
Except
rude.
for the other ones. Like, when you go to places in, like, everyone wants a tip. Like, tip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
you know,
I know
but-
the one place that I've heard like specifically more than once is Japan. Like
Yep.
in Japan,
It's
it's
rude.
very rude
Yeah.
to tip.
Rude.
Yeah.
This is besides the point. This will be very quick because I know we got to wrap up. But in the States,
Oh,
United States of
I
America,
know what you're
what
gonna
the
say.
fuck are you doing with your tips? First of
I
all,
thought you were gonna say something else.
oh, maybe we'll get that. I don't know. But with tips and paying in general, whatever, like their payment system is so fucked up. I get the bill. It's in one of those like little folder things. I'm like,
Okay, we are
That's
talking
what
about the
I-
same
yes,
thing then.
okay.
Where are you taking my card?
bitch, I put my
hate
card in,
that.
she takes it.
Where are you taking it?
And what are you buying with it? Because that's my card.
Did you
And then you have
guys?
to write the tip down.
Did you guys?
You have to
see-
write the fuck. I have to do math. I have to do
No,
fucking
I hate
math.
that. I have to pull up my calculator.
What the fuck?
Did you guys see the video of this? It looks like she's working in a drive-thru.
Yes.
And she has her phone here,
Yes.
and she's recording, and then she grabs the lady's card to pay, and then
She says,
Shows-
beauty guru.
she's She showed both sides, front and back of the card. Then she just proceeded with the payment, gave it back. Or
Why the fuck do you need my card?
The other lady who went to a whatever drive-through, she goes, buys her stuff, leaves. A couple days later, she's getting all these charges on her card, comes back, and she's like, I know you took my credit card information. And then the woman's like, or the girl who's working, she's like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Like, please, just da-da-da. And she's like, if you don't think I'm going to press charges, I'm going to press charges. Like,
It's
which
so
you should.
wild.
But why are you taking my card?
Because the way it works too is so fucked up. Because like you said, you write the tip after like your amount. They charge you separately. You get billed for the food, and then like 2 days later, you get a charge for the tip.
I don't get it.
What
So
the
stupid.
fuck?
I do not understand.
Why?
And that's why they're like, oh, you guys don't have like Zelle or Cash App? No, bitch.
No.
We have e-transfer because it's through our accounts on our bank.
Yes, and as
We're
much as
not
I would
doing
like to
little
have,
draws.
PayPal, Cash App, whatever,
I mean,
like I actually
PayPal's
like
cute. We
my.
have
We have
PayPal.
Yeah,
PayPal.
exactly.
Like,
but I
and
like my e-transfer,
why am
and I
I-
like that our banks sometimes the banks fuck us over and fuck you,
And
but
then they charge a little bit, blah, 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 whatever. But,
50
like,
cent
the fact that you
transfer
have
fee.
all these different streams of different ways to send money instead of just doing it through your accounts is, like, so much more effort. Like, people have to have
It's so
everything.
fucking
Certain
wild.
people like Cash App. Some people like Zelle. Some people like PayPal.
yeah, and it's like, what do you
just-
have? I have to like download an app now to like send you money. It's like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
e-transfer. I know you have it.
And, like, when I'm doing, like, things with Americans, it's always like, do you guys have Cash App? No, babe.
We
No, I'm like,
don't.
PayPal me. That's it. That's
Like,
all I got.
Then whenever I always have to get cash from them or PayPal, and I'm like, and they don't like PayPal for some reason.
I like it. I like
Which
it because
I'm not
I can
sure
actually
why.
like
You can-
because you can
have
request
your
it
back
in,
there.
in your currency, right? Because if they
Exactly.
send US, it's up to whatever the fuck they want to do their currency, and
Exactly.
then PayPal's going to take a cut. At least if I say I need this much Canadian, I'm going to get that much Canadian, and it's up to them to do the rest.
Yeah, it's just.
But like, what the fuck? Give me that fucking terminal, that plug in that number, and let me hit the fucking percentage or
No,
whatever.
'cause-
Because most of the time it's gonna be zero unless it's at a restaurant. But I'll still press in that button that does
So,
it all in one.
For you guys, like, do you have like a system for tipping? Because for me, like, if I'm like going to a restaurant and I'm sitting there, I'm like starting the tip here, and like how my service goes, I'm
could
deducting.
go up or down, maybe.
One time,
Maybe go.
me and went to Cactus Club, and we had this girl who, I don't know if she was having a bad day or what the fuck was going on. He asked for
It's always Cactus.
what's the one
I
where they
was
put the
just
little
about- I'll say
slushy,
something in a
the little
bit.
slushy stuff?
Froze.
Froze or Bellini.
No. They put the Bellini stuff in the drink.
Bellini slush. Wait, what?
I think it's called something else. Sunset soda.
Oh,
A sunset
yes.
soda.
That's
They-
what the Bellini slush goes into.
Okay, so
yeah.
he wanted that, right?
Yeah.
And then he likes to get the grenadine and put like a little bit more in there.
with dressed up with the red.
Dressed up the red. So they didn't have that. So she was like, okay, well, we have like a cherry syrup. Like, do you want to try that? And she like swore up and down, like, it's so similar to the grenadine.
No,
He was like, okay, like, I guess I'll try it.
Shall we?
I was instantly like, sounds like cough syrup, but okay. So he put it in there, tried it. It was disgusting. I tried it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We flag her back, and I'm like, yeah, you know, like, we don't really like this.
NyQuil, bitch.
Yeah, like, can he just get it without the stuff in it? The way she. Okay, so you don't want it.
Zero. Fucking zero.
So you don't want it, and then he's like, no.
I have something to say too about
And then-
specifically. No, we're
He's like, no, and she's like, okay, so you just want a plain one then? He was like, yeah, I can, like, please.
what the
She
fuck?
snatched it, walked away. The way I looked at him, and I was like, I'm not fucking tipping.
No,
zero,
I'm not.
zero.
I tipped her fucking 0.
I'll
And
look her
then
dead in the eye
best
while I'm doing
believe-
it too.
and then, you know-
I'm shifting towards him instead of the
know-
private. I'm going. Boop.
You know, when the receipt comes out, then they can see like that you
Yeah.
just paid. She looked at it and she said, I said, yes, bitch.
Yeah, I would
Fix
say have a
your fucking
lovely
attitude.
day. Have a blessed
What the fuck
day.
am I tipping you for? You're being that rude.
So you know me, like, if the service is bad, I think we've gone out before.
I
when the
was.
service
I
is
need
bad.
to say this because I. This is my thing about Cactus Club or whatever. What did you say about the fucking water? I said water. Water with the lemon. Water.
No, if we can
Why didn't you just do
insert
what the fuck
that,
I'm saying to you?
we need to insert that.
I have it. I have it. Every time it comes up on my Snapchat memories,
Cactus Club
so
is literally
good.
cursed. Like, I don't know. Like,
It went to Zettel.
After I even said, what did I fucking say to this bitch? I literally fucking said, like, yo, the wraps, the wings. And she was like, oh yeah, and she fucking walked away. What'd you say with the fucking water? I literally said, with the lemon. She was like, ice water? I said, with the lemon. She's like, yeah, ice water. Stop fucking cutting me off so I can finish what the fuck I'm saying to you.
There's certain cactus clubs where like these like what do you guys do? Like all this training, all this da 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 like extra bouginess that you try to portray. What do you do? Because it's not giving.
No.
Like anytime I go there, the service is garbage. Like straight dirty booty hole. Like it's just not giving. And I'm expected to tip you, bitch.
For what?
Fuck up.
For what?
No, that's funny. You know what? I sometimes do feel bad depending on like this place. Like if I see it's like a smaller like mom and pop type of thing, or I'm going somewhere that it's like not like a fast food chain or something, then like I'll like probably give you 10%, or like I'll like even I'll put in like $1 or $1.50, and then like my mindset is like if I'm going out to eat, be prepared to give 20%, and then like it has to be like really bad where I give you 0, and then if it's not good, then I'll give you like 10
15
15 worlds. But like to like do 0, I do feel bad unless it's bad service, or if it's taking
this
out.
girl, she was fucking
if it's bad service,
it wasn't even the drink. She would the whole our food, everything. She was
you just
so
told me, that's all I need to know for 0.
like literally rolled her eyes and was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like I was inconveniencing her. Like you suggested something and we didn't fucking like it.
You chose to be here. You punched in, girl.
Literally.
No, but I agree with you on that. Like I'm gonna like I have it here, and then like depending on how it is, it's gonna go between like 20 to 10 in that range.
It's always hard when I hear like people like who can afford it being like, I always tip 40%, 50%. I'm like, I'd love to, but damn,
no, it has to be exceptional.
Like,
I've done more than
I
that.
ain't got it like that.
It's like,
no,
I have done
I'm sorry.
It myself.
And like the whole thing about like don't go out if you can't afford it. It's like I'm gonna get 20. And I think that's very good.
20 is a good.
That's a good.
I
tip.
refuse to be sucked into inflation or whatever, because this goes back to you were asking like what is your rule or whatever. Like I think I sent you guys that TikTok of this girl on like the subway, and they were like doing an interview thing. It's like, what's your hot take? And she's like, if I have to go up to order, I'm not tipping. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that
right?
does annoy me.
And then she said too, like, well, all these things, inflation going more, whatever. Yeah, and tipping is a percentage. So your percent is also going up too. It's not a standard rate or whatever. So it's like, why am I going to keep tipping percent on things that are increasing, right? Because if it's a $50 meal, now I'm paying, what, $10 tip? Now it's a $100 meal, I'm paying $20 tip. My tip just doubled for you when you didn't do anything different. The food just costed more.
Exactly. Yeah, tipping culture it really is
it's
something in
it's
itself.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
It is.
But
it's wrong on so many levels, because it also twists the employee's like perception of it too, and like
I was
value,
gonna say,
self-worth.
it's
Like, oh, I'm not gonna get a
ingrained
tip
in
now.
our brains that like, oh, if I don't get this good tip, then da da da, or like not tipping. Like I went to freaking Blends the other day and I got a cookie, which was like $5 fucking. What? For a cookie?
girl.
And I pressed
Here's your $10 coffee.
best believe I said
cookie.
no
Have
tip.
fun.
The way the girl looked at me like,
And what about it?
No, literally,
I'm tipping you because you. Here you go. What the? What
I
am
could have done that
tipping you
myself.
for?
Open the fucking gates. I'll grab it myself.
Like, she
if
grabbed,
that's what it is about, I'll do it my fucking self.
like you're acting like I watched you sit there, mix the ingredients, and bake it for me. You didn't. You grabbed it from the thing and you handed it to me.
No,
And you want a
'cause-
tip? No, 'cause
Get a
you know
job.
what?
That's my tip. That fucking line.
You know what? People like to be like, if to be an actor, you have to have like so much self.
Regulation or
No, like you just have to be confident, I guess.
Okay,
is the word.
yeah.
Like you have to be confident.
Self-worth.
I was thinking self-worth, but like you have to have a lot of that. But like honestly, being a server, you do too.
Oh yeah.
Because that's another thing where you just
You
kind of
can't let it.
that,
You can't let it tell you
get
like
to
how you did this.
Because
Like
you
whether
can
it
probably
speaks
give
on
like
that.
such good service, and there's people that will not give you shit. Like there's
Yes.
cheap bitches
Oh,
out
yeah.
here. And then there's times where like, yeah, of course you get good tip, whatever. But like that's something that would fuck with my mind as a server myself. Like
You see, and then in my head, I'm like, okay, you go to a restaurant, they get tips. I personally, I feel like people who work in like customer service, like my line of work, your line of work, I should get a fucking. You know how long I spend with people sometimes to help them like find
We're doing a
exactly what they
service.
need.
Like that's a fucking service. That's what you pay for. And like every time a customer's like, oh, like I wish I could tip you whatever. I was like, girl, me too.
I've had so many customers be like, oh, here, and I'm like,
I could get fired.
I'm not allowed
really
to do
appreciate
that,
it.
but like I would love to.
Yeah.
Thank you, but like I'm not allowed to. I can't take
fully
money
would
from
get
you.
fired. Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
that's not right.
I know.
It's unfortunate. They should change that.
Yeah.
They should.
I don't know how many
Well, they
people
should
would
change
do
to where
it,
you
which
just
is
get
fine.
fucking
But
paid properly, and then it's not on. Because honestly, to be like on the pessimistic side of things, like when you said people are cheap, they won't tip whatever. It's like, you won't be able to change those people. It's not
No.
about changing people to where they will tip. It's just about, you know what, let's set like the board across of just fucking pay your employees properly so we don't have to tip. So it's not up to those cheapos who don't pay or the people who do pay more or whatever. Just fucking pay your employees.
But then
My
people
God.
will be like, oh, if everyone has a set rate, then they're talking about communism and shit. So it's like,
Whatever you want to call it, I don't give a fuck.
you know,
do
people
it.
that's why like there's all these issues. Like North America is so
Send
anti-communist.
me that video of Beyonce in the concert. Show them how to do it. You haven't seen that? Oh, it's so
I've probably seen it, but I've
It's
seen so
so
many
good.
videos of her.
Literally.
I can't even
Yeah.
keep track.
But anywho, I feel like I'm good. Any more talks about Dink?
No, we
I'm
haven't.
gonna start to get
We
mad.
didn't even get on like what things we like, but that's a whole other topic then, I guess.
Well, we kind of talked about the things that we
on
liked.
another episode. We
Yeah.
do, despite what you might think, we do love Vancouver and everyone in it.
I kind of said what I liked because like I bashed
did
on
at
the
the
states with the
beginning a
tipping and
little bit,
everything.
You know,
I have so many more things I
we'll give
want to talk
another
about
episode. You
in
know,
terms of-
if there's whether you live in Vancouver or maybe you don't live in Vancouver.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
we'll
you
give
can
you
learn about
reasons
how
to
cool
come.
it
Like
is.
it's not all. I promise, it's not all negative.
Everywhere
like,
has like
it's
places.
it
and
genuinely
all
is a
we-
really good place to
It
live. So
is.
we can make a whole video about like why
Yeah.
we love Vancouver too.
100%, I agree with that.
So definitely let us know if you want that episode.
And with that being said, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Talking and Talk. Hopefully this one, there's no issues.
I am
there's
praying when I hit
nothing.
stop.
Everything looks good so
Yeah,
far.
so-
Everything looks good.
Everything's always looked good.
This one will be up, video and everything.
Yes.
That's the plan. And the videos and everything will be up on where?
At Talking to Talk Pod on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. And then we are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Period.
Bop, 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 bop.
Uh-huh.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.